Thank you for joining me on my masterclass. Now, today we're going to talk about how we can help the people of Los Angeles who are experiencing wildfires. Now, according to the private forecaster group AccuWeather, right now the wildfires have caused total damage of about $175 billion. Now, this was yesterday, so the fires are still raging. Strong winds are still expected. In fact, stronger winds are expected. So, at the end of the day, we might be looking at damage that's worth over $200 billion. And while yeah, I see like some people have sentiments, saying pray for Los Angeles, and people are crying. At the end of the day, what they need is actually physical help, sentimental help. Yeah, I mean, yes, it can give some kind of like moral support. But people need to go back to work, people need to get home, people need to go back to school, and all of this is going to cost money. So here's what's going to happen. There's going to be a massive rebuilding because of these fires. By the time they're over, there's going to be a massive rebuilding. And the best way to help the people of California is actually by investing in America's biggest home builders, America's biggest builders, not just home builders, because the kind of damage that we're seeing in Los Angeles is not just home damage. It's going to be school damages, just hotels, businesses. So any kind of builder, you want to invest your money there. Now, it might look like a bit opportunistic, but this is a crisis. When you have crisis, you're going to have opportunity in crisis. So you have these builders. The best way to help them is by investing in them so that they have more capital to build. If you're just there crying, oh, it doesn't really help people. And then if you say, no, I don't want to like take advantage of them. No, you're not taking advantage of people. These builders, they're going to be needing capital to build. They're going to be needing capital to build. So it's a win-win scenario. If I were you, I would be investing in the largest home builders in America, which are going to be D.R. Horton and Lennar Homes. So it's going to be D.R. Horton and Lennar Homes, and then the biggest, largest builders in the state of California itself, which are going to be KB Homes and Polter Group, the Polter Group. So it's going to be KB Homes and the Polter Group. Now, the reason is just simple. I mean, obviously, it's common sense. There's going to be a massive rebuilding effort after these wildfires. Whether or not people can afford it, their insurance company is going to pay. And if their insurance companies do not pay, then what you're going to have is that you're going to have the U.S. federal government stepping in because this is a disaster. There's probably going to be some emergency relief funds. So homes, businesses, schools are going to be rebuilt. So there's going to be a massive rebuilding effort. So just look at it like consider after the Second World War, the most profitable business in Europe was just builders. So let's take a country like the United Kingdom. 1.2 million homes were built by the British government between 1946 and 1951. In that 5-year period after the war, you had 1.2 million homes being built. So there's going to be a massive building effort, rebuilding in California, in Los Angeles. So if I were you, I'm going to make money, you're going to make money, and we're going to help people. Because right now, the stock of these companies, they've not yet exploded. They are, as soon as all of this is over and as soon as rebuilding starts happening, the stocks of these companies are just going to explode. So get in now, get in now. Now, I see that a number of people have been asking, well, why have they been building with wood in California? Why not build with concrete? Why not build with things that are non-flammable? You got to understand that okay, California and the Los Angeles area, in fact, the whole of California is sitting on an earthquake, fault zone. So the Los Angeles area, the specific earthquake fault zone is the San Andreas Fault. So it just every year, the Los Angeles area, they experience about 10,000 earthquakes every year. I live in California. I've lived in California since 1983. So that's about 42 years. So I do have an idea of what I'm talking about. So right now with this wildfire, 175 billion property damage. How many people have died? About 24 people have died, right? Now, if you consider that on average, when they have an earthquake in California, something like about 150 people die. If you think about the 1906 earthquake, 3,000 people died. The 1989 earthquake, about I think it's over 100 people died. That's in this was in Northern California. So the risk with building with concrete is actually more than the risk with building with wood because concrete is not very flexible. So if you have an earthquake, a lot of people are going to die because what you want buildings that are flexible. So when you have earthquakes, they can move without breaking, without falling apart. So that's why people build with wood. So here's the thing: we want to invest in DR Horton, Lennar Homes, and also specifically for California, KB Homes and Lennar Group. Now, this is the Apostle of Prosperity right now, Mokri. If you've watched this, you've got questions arising from this, or you don't know how to invest in these companies, don't worry. Subscribe to me on X, and I'll hold your hands and I'll teach you specifics on how to invest. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.